Hello and welcome to Life Less Ordinary. I'm just coming down to plant out some broccoletti some seedlings that I got from my friend Mel from Brickworks Farm. So I'm coming down here to plant this out. A couple of us are out here doing other things as well. So Dean's working on moving the chicken house over to where we're going to situate it in the fixed chicken run to have our composting system work. But I noticed as I was coming down, I have been checking every so often just to see how things are going. 3 weeks ago, I planted the rest of our garlic that I had in the fridge for 3 months, 2 to 3 months, getting that big cold spell that is meant to help them to then produce much larger, better garlic in November when we're likely to be harvesting them. So if you watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I planted this row here. This row here was planted 17th of March, so St. Patrick's Day. And then these other 3 rows that I've actually planted them out to in alternating rows. I planted those at the beginning of June. So they have been in here for around 3 weeks, and I will show you what they look like. Oh, there are little things going on in the back, just moving that.
Is that a potato plant?
That is. It probably could do with being dug up, which we'll do shortly. But what I wanted to show you here are the garlic that have started sprouting. So all the way up along there and all the way along, it looks like something has dug in there, no doubt rabbits, but just there, yes. But you can see all the garlic that is sprouting, and I'm really pleased with this. So this is this experiment to see which way is the better way in terms of producing better garlic heads. So they're in the same position, they've had the same soil, they obviously and they're in the same microclimate. It's just the difference in when they were planted and the amount of cold that they've had in the lead up to being planted. So that's just a quick update on where we're at with that garlic. I'm pretty happy with that. So I've already planted some just here, just trying to get the rest of these done. And because I do have a lot here, I don't want to plant all of them out. So I'm trying to go with the ones that look sturdier. So that one's much sturdier than, say, one of these, which could grow, but it's much finer. So I'm just going with what I think looks stronger and sturdier and is more likely to survive being in here with a little bit of neglect because we are in winter. So I don't get down here a huge amount. You may, if you've watched other videos, but I'll tell you anyway, we have planted in all of these garden beds, so there's 16 beds similar size to this that we have actually planted green manure in. So the green manure is going to come up through this and I'll just keep on top of that. Maybe once a week come down and just clip it back, and it's a chop and drop type of situation. So I may not get down every week. However, the plan is as long as it doesn't go to seed, so even if I only get down here twice in this next winter period, so the next 2 or 3 months, and do a chop around this broccoletti and around the other plants that I do, seedlings and vegetables that I do have in the other garden beds, as long as I get to it before it goes to seed, then we will be fine. So chopping the greenery and dropping it, it will then be used by the soil, the worms. It will add more nutrients back into the soil so that come spring our gardens will have enough nutrients to help our spring and summer vegetables to grow well, so that we can provide more food for our families. So you've seen me do the garlic, and I'm just doing the rest of this broccoletti, but this is just a quick video to show that even in winter we can appreciate that things are growing, and just checking up on our garlic experiment, so to speak, and seeing how that's going. And yes, we're still planting things, and we do have plans and priorities for what we're doing for the next couple of months. So the priority in these beds in particular, we've got things growing, but it's also allowing that green manure to grow to certain lengths, chop it, and then it will keep growing until the spring period, when we'll actually either take it out entirely or chop it back to the roots. And in the meantime, we'll have other things ready to grow in there, and the soil will be replenished in time for spring. So hopefully this has been interesting. If you've enjoyed this, just drop a comment down below. It's always helpful. But thank you for joining us as we live our life less ordinary.